Sunday. Yeah. Yo. Yeah. Yeah. How y'all feeling this morning? Shit. Yeah, this afternoon. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, Urban Therapy with Sun 752 with this is the Urban Therapy with Sun show. All right. So there was some technical difficulties this afternoon. I want to say this morning because it feels like morning to me. Because this is pretty much the first thing that I do activity-wise on the weekends. It always feels like this is the morning, but it's a whole almost 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So we are here and we are in motion and we are going to get started right now. First of all, like I said, I had some technical difficulties this morning. Nothing really went wrong, but my head, it has to start working right. So when I saw that that the show was scheduled for tomorrow at 12 p.m., 12 a.m., I'm like, how do these things happen? You know, only I could pull this thing off. So I had to, it was already after 1:30 when the show was supposed to start. So I had to set it for 1:45. But I said, I'm not waiting until 1:45 to get started. We're going to get this thing started right now, brothers. Right now, sisters. And today, we're talking about when somebody is pushing you to be mushy about something that you really are not that emotional about, or you might not even care about it altogether. Have you ever had somebody push you to be mushy? And I say mushy because when you're dealing with somebody who is very emotional, maybe overly emotional, maybe melodramatic or whatever, I'm not saying that they are always crying or whatever, but they are always or excessively passionate about things. And it may be things that don't concern them, shouldn't bother them. They shouldn't probably even be thinking about, but they want to transfer that energy over to you. They want you to be all up in arms about things that you may not know about, care about, think about, or be concerned about. And when it's somebody that's close to you, it can have an effect on you because you don't want to blow people off, or you may not want to undermine people who are more emotional or more in tune with their emotions and other people's emotions than you are. You may not have a disrespect or blatant disregard for how they are, but it ain't you. And they pushing you to be the way that they are. How can you just go about your life living this way when you know that homeless people are out there starving on the streets, living on the streets? How can you deal with that, Omar? How can you deal with that? And you're like, because they was already there when I got here. That's how. I'm busy trying to keep a roof over my head. That's how. And what are you crying for? I'm just saying, the world is just so full of despair. It's so full of deceit. It's so full of people who are uncaring. And if it was different, if people would just, pay attention to others, listen to others, have a little compassion, just try a little tenderness, things would be so much better in this world. And you thinking like, you right. But I thought we was just going to go get something to eat. Yeah, we are going to get something to eat. But while we're filling our bellies, there are kids out there in other countries starving. Even in this very country, right here, I can take you to some places in this city where kids are hungry. And I'm like, they don't have no Poppy store? Like I said, it's not that you don't have any feelings. It's not that you're not emotional at all. But there are some people who aren't emotional. And there are plenty of people who aren't as emotional as other people. So when somebody is pushing you to be mushy, and I say mushy because when you're not ready to be emotional, when you're not ready to be all, this don't have nothing to do with affection. This don't have nothing to do with wanting to cuddle or feel or hug or tell somebody I love you. It may have more to do with a whole thought process. Has anybody ever, and I'm sure this has happened to plenty of people, but has anybody ever revealed their emotions to you? Okay, let's put it this way. Has anybody started loving you too soon? And they start expressing it, and you're like, wait a minute. Yeah. I like you. We've been kicking it. Everything is okay. It might not even be a lover. It might just be somebody who is an acquaintance to you. Like, yo, man, I really, you that bull. You know what I mean? Like, you a king, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been watching you for a while, and I know how, I see how you are with people. I see how you are with kids. I see how you are with seniors. I see how you are with people in the community. You know what I mean? Yo, you that shit. I'm trying to tell you. And you like, you might be humble, but this is taking it to another level. It's like, I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do. Or I'm doing what any decent person would do, but they showing love a little too fast. And it could be a lover that's telling you they love you. Y'all only been dating for a few weeks, maybe a few days. I know niggas who have told women that they love them on the first date or after the first time they have sex and all of that kind of stuff. Now people go for it. And then, for a lot of people, that might be a serious red flag. Like, hold on. On one hand, maybe you should only have physical relations with somebody that you do love. On one hand, maybe that's your thing. Like, why would I lay down with you if I didn't love you, knowing that out of that, a baby could come out of that? Would you have a baby with somebody that you didn't love? Yeah. Well, it happens a lot. You probably didn't mean to get pregnant or mean to impregnate somebody that you didn't love, but the physical might have overrode the emotional. The physical might have overrode the emotional. Physical might have overrode the emotional. Yo, 9 months later, yeah, here we go. Physical might have overrode the emotional. Physical overrode the emotional. Physical might have overrode the emotional. 9 months later, yo, here we go. Didn't mean to have a baby by a crazy lady, but that shit went down. And I'ma say these words to you. You gotta be careful who you lay down with and who you screw. Well, I didn't plan it, but I gotta do this thing because it demands that it makes me a better man. So I got a little man coming through, and I'ma add that on with the other 4. I ain't really trying to have one more, but I'm only 35 years old. So I might have a number one truth told. Another one truth told. Well, pushing to be mushy, 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 pushing to be pushing to be mushy, pushing to be mushy, pushing to be mushy. They are pushing you, pushing to be mushy, pushing to be mushy, pushing to be mushy. Why are they pushing you to be mushy? They're gonna push you to be mushy with them. You wish you was hot right now or just them. Hey, yo, they want you to get on the same plane. You was just trying to have a little bit of fun. Come on, man. Pushing you to be mushy than you are. I don't really trust this John. You know how we are. Maybe in 6 months to a year. Right now, I don't even really know if I care. Pushing to be mushy, pushing to be mushy, pushing to be mushy. They pushing you to be pushing to be mushy, pushing to be mushy. Why they gotta be? I think you cute, shorty. The love is there, but I'm not really there yet. But I'm trying to care. Yeah, you were talking about things that I don't even know. And I wonder if you know them yourself. You know how it goes. Yo, you worry about the homeless and people starving overseas. Right now, I'm trying to get this money, going to work to get the cheese. Yo, why are you bombarding me with all this emotional stuff? You know that right now, I'm going through hard times. Life is tough. Yo, you pushing me to be mushy, baby. Come on. I'll talk to you. Right now, I don't know if I can take that emotional walk with you. Yo, just leave me alone. Let me chill for a minute. Let me get comfy. Yo, don't come at my neck. I said, baby, don't come for me. Mushy, pushing to be 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 mushy, pushing to be. They said he cooking with Kaya. They're cooking with Kaya. They cooking with. They pushing you to be mushy. You ain't mushy like that. You know what I mean? You so you little love, but you ain't really trying to do that shit. You ain't trying to really go over and above. Pushing you to be mushy. Yo, I ain't really trying to get on that track. Come on, baby. Yo, maybe later on, you know, next week, you know, maybe. Yo, come on, shorty, you sweetheart. Just give me Netflix and chill. Yo, if you let me just chill right now, next time I'll put pushing to be mushy, pushing you, pushing to be mushy, 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 pushing to be mushy. Y'all ready to get this show started? I'm ready to do this shit. Let's come on. Y'all know how it go. I'm glad y'all came through. That's my word is born. Yo, this shit is gonna be nice. We gonna talk about something. We gonna get into something. Yo, you know I do this shit every day. To me, I ain't really nice. Pushing to be mushy, 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 pushing to be mushy. I need y'all to share this show. I ain't coming. Yo, share the show, subscribe to the channel. Let's get on this type shit. There should be more people in the chat. There should be more people. Yo, hit the like button. Yo, share the show. That's how you grow the channel. Stop fronting on me. And I'm gonna tell y'all another thing. It's almost the last day of the. Yo, what you want? April Fool's? I'm serious, yo. Pushing to be mushy, 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 pushing to be mushy. Yeah, we're not taking no calls yet. Get out of here with that shit. We're not taking any calls yet. I didn't even get the show started. You can't talk right now. I'm gonna have to decline your call. Sorry. Because I know you're spamming. You're calling too early. You're calling too early. I know you're spamming. I know how it be. I know how it be. All right, y'all. Y'all ready? Urban Therapy with Sun 752, and this is the Urban Therapy with Sun show. We do this every single Sunday from 1 p.m. till around 2:30-ish. And the reason that we say 2:30-ish is because sometimes it gets so heated that we just have to do a little OT on a Sunday. And it is Sunday. This is the show where adults come out and play with other adults. We laugh, we cry, we argue, fuss, and fight, go back and forth with each other, bust it up all crazy. We take an introspective look into our own personality to see the way that the universe projects us into this thing called the world and try to figure out this thing called life. I'm your host, Sun 752, aka Omar with the rrrr. And if you can't say Omar with the rrrr, well, then you just say Omar with the R. This is the Urban Therapy with Sun show. I'm feeling like a real man should, and I hope y'all feeling like real men and women should also. Today, we are talking about when they are pushing you to be mushy too soon about, quite frankly, things that you might not care about. So let's get started. I came here to get started, to co-act ill or get retarded. Let's get it. Let's get it. I am here. You are here. We gonna talk about some things right here. Yo, we gonna get this thing popping, me and you together. We gonna do this when the weather gets... Okay, let's go. What up, y'all? How you feeling? How y'all feeling, man? I hope everybody is good. I hope everybody is feeling healthy. I hope everybody is feeling happy. And I hope everybody can get into this. Everybody can get into this. What up? Let me say what's up to my people that are participating so far. T Carry, right? Morning, noon, and night. It's always great to have my peoples going directly into your site. And Idiotic Genius, yo. Thanks for coming on through. Appreciate you, God. I mean this. Dimples D's always down with me. I appreciate you like the 7 C's. Yo, so that's what we doing? Is that okay? And Josh Bruin, what up, man? Oh, did you call in already, Josh Bruin? Well, see, when I'm doing my intro, you can't call in yet. You gotta let me set the stage first. Normally when people call in while I'm still talking, it's because they either want to break my momentum or they're just trolling, messing around. I unfortunately, when you do this, you have to deal with that a lot. So, no disrespect. I just didn't know. Let me see. Idiotic Genius says, hell yes. What up, son? You gonna start some shit today? I'm saying, man, when somebody is pushing you to be mushy, and come on, brothers, y'all know what I mean by mushy. A lot of men, hold back on their feelings. I get that. And even men that display their feelings, sometimes they want to put a cap on it. Like, I don't want to get too emotional. Start weirding shorty out. And sometimes shorty wants you to weird her out. Or she's, like the trust might not be there to the point where you're ready to talk about certain things. She might want you to be ready to talk about certain things that have happened to you, certain things that you're going through, certain things that you may not be going through, but certain scenarios that you may be familiar with, but you may not be ready to you may not have processed it yet. And here she is pushing. You know what I mean? You can't even, hey, you are driving down the street with shorty. She in the passenger side, you driving, you know what I'm saying? You might have her under your wing, or she a good shorty. You know how when you ride with a woman, a lot of times they can't keep their hands off you. They got their hand on your thigh. They want you to hold their hand. It's a good thing you can drive with your left. You can drive with your left because your right hand is tied up. She's squeezing it. She wants you to squeeze her. That's not mushy. That's not mushy. You know what I mean? If she was a good passenger, if she was a good shorty passenger, she'd reach over, maybe, fondle your balls a little bit. She ain't got to give you head. It might be too early for that. But she might want to let you know. She might let you know that she appreciate the ride. You know what I mean? Get the feeling. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? When normally, from my experience, when a woman likes you, it's hard for her to keep her hands off. She be rubbing, she be touching, she be massaging, she put her hands, she put her hands on you. I'm gonna tell you like this, brothers. If your woman don't put her hands on you, something wrong. If you always got to be the one to lay hands, there's something wrong. Woman like you, she want Paul, you know what I mean? She want, touchy feely, touchy. But anyway, when she wants you to get mushy with her, she might be asking you about things that may not be relevant to the situation that y'all are in right now, or maybe she has some things on her mind that she thinks you should have on your mind, and she's pushing you. She's pushing you to get into that. And you like, I thought we was going to watch Die Hard. You said you like action movies. I thought we was going to watch, some vintage Die Hard, Die Harder. You know what I mean? I thought we was going, rest in peace to Bruce Willis. I thought we was going to watch Die Hard, one of the Marvel flicks. You said you like the Marvel flicks. I thought we was going to watch that and all of that. You throw Dirty Dancing in the joint, like Dirty Dancing. It was a good movie, but I ain't want to watch no Dirty Dancing. You know what I'm saying? You want to watch, what was that? Nottingham. What was one of them? Meg Ryan, Hugh. What was the English actor? Hugh something. He was a good actor. He played in a lot of those little romantic comedy flicks. Hugh Grant? Was it Hugh Grant? I think it was. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't want, you know what I mean? Like, I hope I'm getting some ass. It was Hugh Grant, right? Okay. Yeah. Hugh Grant. He was good at it. But he played, he was that romantic comedy dude. Like, yo, go get Hugh, man. We gonna go get Hugh. Get Hugh. We gonna have him with what's her name? Something Jennifer Aniston. We gonna have her with Jennifer Aniston in this one, Meg Ryan in that one. I'm going back if I'm talking about Meg Ryan. She ain't been in nothing like 20, 25 years and shit. But she was burning it up in the late 90s. Now Meg Ryan, shit, yeah, Meg was doing it. Meg was doing it. So yeah, like you just trying to she pushing you to be mushy. You like, I mean, you might still be in the physical stages. Like, you might still be, you might be impressed with her bodily features. Like, she got fat ass, big titties. Maybe she don't have a fat ass. Maybe she don't have big titties. She got a nice ass. That shit is a nicey. If you can't get a fatty, you'll take a nicey. Like, that thing nice. That thing nice. Yeah, it ain't no big joint, but that joint Pokemon. But sometimes you ever been with a chick that really don't have no ass, don't have no titties? She might be kind of skinny, kind of on the thin side, but she got this walk. She got this walk that's just saying, fuck me, fuck me, fuck me, fuck me, fuck me. See, this walk killing you. Like, all right, bow legs. All right, runway. That's runway Rhonda. You know what I mean? She like, You know what I mean? Frosty the Snowman. Put one foot in front of the other. I think that was on Frosty the Snowman. Wasn't that on the Christmas special? Frosty the Snowman? Or was it Year Without a Santa Claus? Or was it Santa Claus is Coming to Town? Or was it Rudolph the Red-Nosed? Whatever one of them Johns. With one foot in front of the other. Like, damn, she got this walk. That thing is batting 1,000. Boop. 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 Anyway, you might still be on the physical side, and she's trying to. Yeah, so yeah, my ex, he was very emotionally abusive. I went through so much with him. I don't really want to talk about him a lot, but I just need you to know that if sometimes I seem like I'm zoning out, or I start to bust out and cry, or if we having sex and I start crying, I'm really just enjoying it. I never had a chance to enjoy it when me and him used to do it. And I hope I'm not giving you TMI, but I never used to be able to enjoy it with him because I was always scared. And with you, I feel comfortable, so comfortable. The time that we've spent together has been monumental for me. Like, damn, shorty, it's been 3 weeks. Pushing to be mushy. She pushing to be and it ain't always women. To be fair, a lot of dudes be pushing females to be mushy. She might still be harboring the pain of growing up without a mother or father or brother or sister or aunties or uncles. You know what I mean? She grew up to herself, all by herself. She had to put herself through school. She had to change her own diapers. She had to burp herself. Yo. She had to suck her own titty. That's how long she's had to be independent. Okay. All right. Okay, TK Wright says, I have gone through this a few times. First date proposals. I even had one guy tell me that I was trying to get him to fall in love with me, and it was only the first time we had spoken on the phone. That conversation must have been banging. Like, ooh, yeah, baby, let me do it to you in your ear hole. Do it to you in your ear hole. Doing it in the dark. No, doing it in the park. Doing it after dark. Oh yeah, Rock Creek eardrum part. Oh yeah, eardrum part. Do it. Do it. Anyway, Idiotic Genius says, I'd like to see the grand total bill of how much that illusion of love has cost me. Ooh. TK Wright says, few times equals mushy too soon. My face tells me when I think that it's too soon, or not done enough, or not do. Oh yeah, I think that means done. All right, Idiotic Genius says, your definition of pushing to be mushy and mine are two different things. Oh, I think I know what you're pushing to be mushy is. That's a good thing. Yeah, I mean, I think what I think you're talking about, that would be a good thing. But I'm talking about mushy in the emotional, not mushy in the physical. Sometimes some people don't even have mush in that area. Doesn't mean that they're not skilled, but they might not have no mush. Grown woman, don't try me. What's good? What is good? Okay, idiotic genius says you're deaf. Okay, wait. What up? Hold on. Okay. TK Rice said it's okay, genius. I was okay. Y'all got a little communication breakdown there. Wait a minute. Okay. TK Rice says I'm weird because I don't want too much too soon, but then if I think that we should be progressing in a certain direction after a certain amount of time and it doesn't start, I start to pull away. Waiting to be mushy, waiting to be mushy, patient 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 to be. You ain't gotta be mushy too soon, but come on. Well, what is you doing? Let me ask you again, what is you doing? All I'm trying to do is have a meeting of the mind. I liked you from the beginning. You respectful and kind. I'm not trying to push you to be mushy, but a little bit. Come on, after you do this shit, I'm just telling you, you're going to literally like this shit. Pushing to be mushy. Pushing to be mushy. Pushing to be mushy. She pushing me. Pushing to be mushy. Pushing to be mushy. Pushing to be, I said she pushing me too. Hit the like button, y'all. Share the show. Subscribe to the channel. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, how we doing on the poll? We got 10 votes on the poll. We're gonna see about that in a minute. When they get up a little bit, we're gonna see what them poll results are looking like. All right. Okay. Dimples D's says dating is hard pre-pandemic, and for many of us, it may feel impossible now. Meeting anyone at all is a challenge, let alone the right person. We may feel like we don't want to take any chances. So was he pushing you to be mushy? Was he pushing you to be mushy, or was you ready to be? Yo, was it he or was it you? What's it gonna be? Are you gonna be mushy today? Is it what you do? Do you see? Do you understand when somebody is trying to get you to be on the same emotional plans? Yeah, they split you all in half, ready to make you take a bubble bath with them. It ain't enough room. Both of y'all thick. You know what I'm talking about. Get sick. But still, you take a shower. Shower shit is, you know what I'm talking about. Anybody who ever had sex in the shower, you know this shit is overrated. But still, it will bring you together. It will bring you together. Okay, let me see here. Okay. Convo says, TK Wright says, convo loaded from the beginning of the show because this is an interesting topic. Okay. Dennis Rosso. Oh, damn, I miss you, Dennis Rosso. I thought the D was for Dimples D. My bad. You got a lighter D. No Diddy. All right. Dennis Rosso says, nothing to know about life is two things, food and water. Nothing to know about life is two things. Okay. All right. Dimples D says, transparency will weed out the wrong people. Will it now? Idiotic Genius says it's hard to find someone that wants to remember what it's like to get that mushy feeling. They're too guarded. I think that a person will be guarded until they can get comfortable. When somebody is pushing you to be mushy too soon, that means you probably haven't gotten to a trust level to whereas you're ready to let go. You know what I mean? You know. All right, I'm gonna talk to y'all about that a little bit more. All right. Josh Boone says, bad. My bad. Didn't mean to kill the vibe. It's good, man. You can call back in now. You know what I mean? If you want to, it's all good. Simon says, rest in peace, George Foreman. Yeah, man, that hurt. Yeah, I always like George Foreman. Dimples D says the truth is that we're thinking that we're thinking with that part of our emotional brains when we bring a rational brain into the conversation, we are able to do the math and know that anybody who doesn't want to be All right. Idiotic genius says, "Oh, doesn't want to be in our life when they get to know us in a full and authentic way. Isn't somebody who we should pursue things with because they won't be able to meet our needs." All right, all right. Insightful. Idiotic genius says, "My girl puts hands on me all the time. Some people call it a pat down because she's looking for my wallet." I understand. That's cool. That's cool. Shirley Shirl, the world's most precious and greatest pearl in the world. Shirley Shirl, the world's most precious and greatest pearl in the world. What's good? And my people, Seka Sala. Seka Sala says, "I never liked a female that was too emotional. When I was younger, it would annoy me. But as I got older, I see it was a girl trying to be comforted from her daddy issues. Daddy issues. Daddy issues. Daddy issues. Oh. TK Wright says, "Santa Claus is coming to town. The abominable snowman." Is that what it was? With one foot in front of the other. That's that shit. Yeah. Yeah, that was my shit. Good looking. I knew it was one of the five. I knew it was one of the five. Thanks for coming through, Dennis Rosso. All right. Grown woman is on the road. Be careful. Please be careful. All right. We good? Okay, we good. All right. So what I was going to say was this. Getting comfortable with somebody is hard. And it's hard to get comfortable with somebody who you don't trust yet. And it's not that you don't trust them. Like, you may not think that you're going to that they're going to hurt you, or that they're going to steal from you, or that they're going to set you up or anything like that. But getting comfortable with somebody is being able to know that you can be your authentic self, or the self that is not authentic to you. Like, just because you express yourself in full doesn't mean that that's all your authentic self. Your authentic self may be the type that's guarded. Your authentic self might be the type that does not express yourself a lot. Why do we always think, or why do we sometimes think that letting it all out is who we really are, or revealing everything is who we really are? Why can't the way we are the majority of the time be who we really are? Not that the other pieces don't count, but they aren't the ones making up the whole piece, the whole picture. So when you're dealing with somebody, if you're the type of person who is more logical than emotional, so you're more of a problem solver type than get really deep into something emotional type. When you're the type that will go to work when you see a problem, instead of a person that will cry about a problem, then go to work on it, or maybe not go to work on it at all, that's not really a good match. And I'm not saying that it can't work, but you're going to have some work to do, because getting on the same page is going to be really challenging if that's what you require. And I have to say, if that's what you require, because not everybody needs to be on the same page with their lover. Evidently, there's a whole millions and millions of people out there that are comfortable being uncomfortable. They don't even know. You know what I mean? How do you know if you ever? Okay, I got two things. How many of y'all drove your car with a windshield that was dirty and you didn't even know it until somebody cleaned that bitch? And you was like, the fuck? Yo, this thing clear as... I'm seeing things I ain't seen before. You didn't know. Or if you were sleeping in bed on a mattress that it was comfortable for you. You didn't know that it wasn't a quality mattress until you slept in somebody else's bed. And you're like, yo, yo, this thing is softy. This is, you know what I mean? This is the baby bear. This is the baby bear porridge. Papa bear porridge was too hot. Mama bear porridge was too cold. Baby bear shit was just right. You didn't know that though. You didn't know. Same thing as a chair. You didn't know that chairs were supposed to be comfortable. You just been sitting in a chair because you had to sit somewhere. And then somebody gives you a different chair, or you sit in somebody's chair and you're like, this thing it's adjustable. It does. Hold on. Oh shit. This thing nice. I gotta get me one of these. Yeah, you may not have known. So, you know, I hate to say you can't miss what you never had, because I know better than that. So I'm careful about saying things like that. But yeah, not everybody requires that level of compatibility. Compatibility for some people involves other things that may not have anything to do with liking the exact same things. You may be compatible. You may consider yourself to be compatible with somebody because even though they like things that you don't like, it doesn't make you uncomfortable and you don't get tired of them. That may be good enough for you. Or maybe you think that being tired of somebody, or being sick of somebody sometimes, or not wanting to hear their voice sometimes, maybe you think that's just par for the course. You can't have everything. Anyway, pushing you to be mushy about the wrong things. Anybody ever try to push you to help somebody that you don't think deserves help? Make sure this mic is working. Has anybody ever pushed you to try to be mushy and emotional and have feelings for somebody that you know ain't nothing but a snake, ain't nothing but a bum, ain't nothing but an attention seeking, you know what I mean, drama king or queen? Well, they need help. You need to, you gotta help them. Help them, son. Help them. You gotta take your time with them, son. Everybody needs love. The motherfucker snake. They're a snake, yo. You just so hard all the time. No, stop playing. I'm not talking about that way. You just so hard all the time. Don't you have any feelings? Like, I don't even know that nigga. What are you talking about? Feelings for who? I got a whole community of people that need help. I gotta go help them. I ain't worried about them bum ass motherfuckers. I don't know how people can be like you. I just don't understand. I don't know how they can be like you. I don't know how they can be like you. I don't know how they can be like you. I don't know how they can be like you. I don't know how they can be like you. I don't know how they can be like you. I don't know how they can be like you. I don't know how they can be like you. How can they be like you? I don't know how to be like you. How they can be like you. Be like you. How can they be like you? Be like you. How can they be like you? How can people be like you? You act like you don't care. Don't you wanna be out there with the life you should share? You gotta cry sometimes, baby. You let it out. Come on, you can't be all hard all the time. What's that about? How can they be like you? 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 How can they? Why are they like you? Why are you like that? Why can they be like you? Why are you like that too? How can they be like you? How can they be like you? Cooking with Kaya. Cooking with Kaya. I'm just, shit's crazy. Y'all got different degrees of mushy, smushy, smushtastic. Grown woman says, okay, like, share, engage with the channel. It's appreciated without a doubt. Idiotic Genius says, I know that pat down statement sounded like a joke, but the more I pay attention to her, the more I see things I never noticed before. Hey man, I mean, shoot, at least you know who you are and what you're dealing with. You got too many people running around here talking about you can know somebody for years and years and never really know them. I'm like, how about you just didn't know them? How about you wasn't paying attention? How about you was only paying attention to the surface shit? And maybe you was good with that. Not everybody is not good with that. Stacy White, thanks for coming through, holding it down for the D. That's what's up. What up? What up? Yes. All right, let me see. Let's go to the poll. The pushing you to be mushy about all the wrong things way too soon. Way too soon. How long this is the poll question. How long does it take you to be comfortable with showing your emotions with someone you are with? Right away, I'm always emotional. 27% say that. 3 months to a year, 27% say that. 40% say I can show concern but not emotion. Okay. So you can show that you care, but you ain't gotta be all like, oh man, oh no, oh man, oh no, oh man, oh no, oh how will it go? Oh man, oh, all right, okay. And 7%, which means 1 vote, says thinking about this makes me sick. I'm actually surprised I didn't see as many of those. Because, hey, so showing your emotions for some people it can make them physically ill. Like, oh. And it's not just men. That's the crazy part. There are plenty of women out here. There are plenty of women out here that are solid as a rock. Dipples D says, over time, you become more comfortable letting your partner into emotional or vulnerable places in your life. This is what begins to transition you to a serious relationship as opposed to a new one. It doesn't do that. Does one thing equal another? Like, just because you get really comfortable with someone, does that necessarily mean that you are entering a closer union with them? I mean, I don't see why it wouldn't mean that or couldn't mean that, but does it mean that the majority of times? The majority of the time, is that what that means? That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. Does the majority, because getting comfortable with somebody or being able to trust somebody, I'm not sure if it always means that you're going to be with them, because especially in a romantic way, it may not mean that y'all have any romantic feelings for each other at all. There may be somebody there may have been somebody who you weren't close with or didn't even know very well that saw you in in a compromising position or overheard something that you were going through or talking about or whatever, and you know they heard you, they heard the whole thing, you know, and maybe they didn't tell anybody, you know, maybe y'all didn't even have that conversation. Maybe they heard what they heard. You saw them hear you. Yeah, sometimes you can see somebody hear your conversation. You saw them hear you. You knew they took it in, but y'all wasn't cool like that. And you may have been so embarrassed about the situation or so uncomfortable and uneasy about the situation, you didn't even step to them. Because, you know, that's an awkward thing when you got to go to somebody and be like, you know, I know you heard what I was talking about, or you saw what happened, blah, blah, blah. I'm sorry. You know how you try to gauge where somebody's head is, where somebody's head is when they've seen or heard something that was personal to you. You may try to go and do damage control or at least find out where they are with it. And sometimes you might not. Sometimes you might just brace yourself for the fallout. Oh, I know that person is going to tell somebody else that I know, and I'm about to hear about it. So all right, fuck it. At least I know where it's coming from. And maybe it never happened. Maybe it never happened. If they did tell somebody, they didn't tell nobody who knows you. They didn't tell nobody who is concerned with your situation. So you may have had a chance to trust somebody that you didn't even really know like that. And you may have known them, but you didn't know them like that. Y'all wasn't cool. Y'all wasn't close. And you ain't about to try to get close to somebody just because they saw you or overheard something that you going through. Because that's corny. You know, people will try to do that though. They know you know something about them, so now they want to try to get close to you so they can finesse you into not saying nothing or whatever. You know, willingly extorting themselves, willingly blackmailing themselves. Like, I'm now indebted to this person. And why? Okay, Dimple says, yes, being on your best behavior and making the effort to be the best version of yourself at all personal times works out and turns into a relationship. You've then created a situation. You say we created a situation where you feel ongoing pressure to remain in that idealized state indefinitely. Interesting, Dimples. Interesting, Dimples. So, because you name yourself Dimples D, I'm going to assume that you have dimples. I call them dents. You have these dents. See, I got dents in my face, but they only show up, you know, when I make certain facial movements. But if you call yourself Dimples D's, you probably had the deep, So can people see your emotions as plain as they see the dents in your face? Dimples D, I was at a jam the other night, feeling real good because the feeling was right. Went to the party for some different type of action. Next thing you know, I was doing the jack. This is good. Pushing you to be mushy for all the wrong things way too soon. Or maybe they're just pushing you to be mushy, even if it's not the wrong things. Maybe they're pushing you to be mushy before you're ready to be mushy. Like, I ain't ready to be mushy. I ain't ready for the mush. Don't push for me to be mushy. Not yet. Slow it down. Slow it down. Slow it down. I just dissed you. No, I'm just saying. That was some battle rap shit. Don't worry about it. Shout out to my man Conceited the battle rapper. He's good, dude. You might, if you all watch Wildin' Out, you know who I'm talking about. Boy, Conceited. He's a good dude. Good rapper. Good rapper. All right. But yeah, pushing you to be mushy. Pushing you to be mushy. Before you're ready. And like I said, it's not always or not only men that don't want to be emotional or are not or who are not ready to be emotional up front. But when somebody like dealing with a woman that does not wear her emotions on her sleeve and who is not always outwardly emotional, sometimes she can come off as unfeeling. Sometimes she can come off as being materialistic. The secret behind a lot of people who are very materialistic is that they know that they can get money from somebody, but they may not know that they may not feel that they can get true, genuine love and feelings and emotions from somebody. So they took the trade-off with the money. They said, look, I know I can get some money, but people are so disingenuous these days that I'd rather just keep everything surface level. I ain't trying to go deep emotionally, and I ain't trying to be all hype either. So we just going. So do you like me? Yeah, I do like you. I like you. You good people. I dig you. Now, you know, when your heart takes over, it's going to make you do what it wants you to do. But if you practice fighting that more and more and more, you're probably going to get good at it. So even when you do fall into that emotional hole, it may take longer than it takes the average person. One good thing about people who aren't easily pushed to be mushy is that you don't have to worry yourself too much about them hurting themselves. And when I say hurting themselves, I mean anything from self-mutilation to getting into toxic relationships or unhealthy relationships to actually contemplating or carrying out suicide. The one big worry that you can have about a person that's always on 10 emotionally is that you're going to worry about them hurting themselves because they don't present themselves to really be able to handle life's challenges as well as you would like them to be able to. So, you know, not being able to trust somebody with you is one thing. Not being able to trust somebody with themselves is a whole other thing. I'm going to say it again. Not being able to trust somebody with you is one thing. Not being able to trust somebody with themselves, with their own selves, that's a different level of worrying. That's a different level of having to care. That's a different level of stress. That is a different level of stress. Stacey White says, I hate that I wear my emotions on my sleeve. I don't like crying. I can understand that. But it's okay to cry. It's okay to cry. And I know that it's okay to cry because Trick Daddy told me. In the song Thug Holiday. In the song Thug Holiday, he said, yo, it's all right to cry. Go ahead and cry. You know, everything gonna get gravy in a minute. And I believe Trick Daddy. He was right. I believe Trick Daddy back then. That was before he started looking like, well, you know, the boy got some health problems. You know what I'm saying? You know, he got lupus. And, you know, And he is what male lupus looks like. Shout out to Trick Daddy though. That was my boy, man. That was my Miami rapper back in the late 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s. But he said, you can go ahead and cry. Everything will get gravy in a minute. Idiotic Genius says, if someone has to push another person to be mushy, then it's time to take a step back and evaluate the situationship. Well, some people are just that way. And Dimple says, yes, my dimples are deep and a birth defect. Okay. Karen, what's going on, Karen? Thanks for coming through. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Buttercup 25, what's good? And grown woman, don't try me, says, Dimples, I have one deep one on my chin. Who is you, grown woman? Don't try. What are you, John Travolta or somebody? Grown Travolta. Grown Travolta. you know that Saturday Night Fever. You know that Saturday Night Fever shit. You know? What? The night fever, night fever. You know how to do. All right. Buttercup says, there has to be a level of feeling safe with your person to be able to trust. There has to be a level of feeling safe with your person to be able to trust. You know, it's funny because I would remix that and I would say there has to be a level of trust to be able to feel safe with your person. That's what I would say. There has to be a level of trust to feel safe. That's what I would say. But you ain't got to do what I do. But that's what I would say. Buttercups. Okay. Stacy says, you sound just like my mother. She said that I was so strong, she think that I might have a nervous breakdown. The straw bridge can't hold but so much weight. Grown woman says, no, sir, I got that. I got it from my daddy. He had one too. Dad Travolta. Well, you can tell by the way I use my walk. I'm a one ladies man. No time to talk. And you can't. Well, you can tell by the way I use my walk. I'm a ladies man. No time to talk. I'm just saying. Buttercup says, I need to feel safe first. I see your point, though. Okay. Grown woman says, don't talk about my daddy. My bad. I'm not talking about your dad. The Bee Gees was the shit, wasn't they? Well, I see your eyes in the morning sun. You touch me. I Feel you touch me in the pouring rain. Huh? Huh? Kira says you got that Jackson sound, that Jackson 5 sound. No, that was from the Saturday Night Fever. You got to go back. You got to go back and watch the movie or play the soundtrack. You gonna like almost every song. That shit was disco excellence. That shit was disco excellence. That was one of the greatest soundtracks ever. Ever. Hold on. I'm going nowhere. Somebody help me. Somebody help me, yeah. I'm staying alive. I'm going nowhere. Somebody help me. Somebody help me, yeah. Man, I wish we could play songs. I wish we could play music on the channel, but no. No. Whether you're a mother or whether you're a brother, staying alive, staying alive. New city breaking and everybody taking it, staying alive, staying alive. Staying alive, staying alive. Staying alive all night long. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on. We got it. We got it, man. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Okay. All right, here we go. Y'all ready? Come on. Rock with me. Well, you can tell by the way I use my walk. I'm a woman's man. No time to talk. The music loud and the women warm. I've been kicked around since I was born, and now it's all right. And it's okay. And you may look the other way. Or we can try to understand how New York Times affect a man. Whether you're a brother or whether you're a mother, to staying alive, staying alive. Feel the city breaking and everybody shaking. We're staying alive, staying alive. Staying alive, staying alive. Staying alive. That's what I'm Huh? You know what I'm saying? People pushing you to be mushy. And you just trying to stay alive. Stay alive. Yes. Yes. That's what I'm talking about. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Share the show. Subscribe to the. Hit the like button. Share the show. Subscribe to the channel. Answer the poll question. Hit the like button. Share the show. Subscribe to the channel. Pushing to be mushy. Pushing to be mushy. Pushing to be mushy. Pushing to be mushy. Push. Oh, fuck that shit. I'm bringing it back. This y'all gonna feel what we talking about today. We pushing to be mushy. 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 He pushing you to be mushy, yeah, you ain't ready. You trying to get him to chill, yo, be steady. We together, can't you just chill? If you don't push me to be mushy, I might pushing to be mushy, 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 pushing to be mushy. pushing to be mushy. I get mushy sometimes, but usually I'm by myself. I ain't trying to be mushing around nobody else. When I get mushy, it's because this life is getting hard. Hey, yo, sometimes I get mushy. That's when I call on God. You don't have to push me to be mushy. Take my time. Yo, I'm just being mushy while I say these. Yeah, you pushing me to be mushy, but I ain't pushing you. Yo, pushing to be mushy ain't the thing to do. Pushing to be mushy, 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 pushing to be mushy. Why you pushing to be mushy? Hey, yo, stop pushing me to be all mushy. Come on, girl. Yo, I like you with the straight head or curls. I'm be mushy when the time comes. Yo, take off your clothes, baby. Yo, I ain't trying to be mushy around knowing my enemies are foes. I'm pushing to be mushy. Yo, why you always gotta be like that? You always on 10. Why you gotta be like that? I'm pushing to be mushy, pushing to be mushy, pushing to be mushy, pushing to be mushy. Pushing to be mushy, pushing to be what? Yo, pushing to be mushy, pushing to be pushing to be mushy. Pushing to be mushy. What the? Pushing to be mushy. Yo, what's up, pushing to be. You push me to be mushy so much. You make me cry. Yo, why am I being mushy? The fuck why? Pushing me to be mushy. This is my last verse. Pushing me to be mushy. I'm about to curse. That pushing to be mushy. 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 Pushing to be All right. Okay. All right. I feel better. I hope you do too. Okay, so yes, Stacy. Yes, the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack was all that. Dibbles D says, in the end, being as authentic as possible in your dating interactions will help ensure that the people that you really do make connection with match that description. Cool. Simon says staying alive. Stacey White says he think he bad. It's the it's the song. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. That's what I'm talking about, Daniel. Good looking out. Thank you for the light. Thank you for the light. Thank you for the light. Thank you for the thanks for the participation. Thanks for coming through. All right. Pushing you to be mushy about the wrong things at the wrong time. You ain't ready. You're not ready. Tú eres no listo. Tú eres no listo. Tú eres no listo. Tú eres no listo. That means you're not ready in Spanish. Tú eres no listo. 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 I'm not ready. I do. Tú eres no listo. Tú eres no listo. ¿Tú listo? ¿Sí o no? ¿Listo usted? ¿Listo usted? Usted, nah. Should I say no? No listo. No listo sea, no listo a sea emocional. No listo, no listo a sea emocional contigo. No, no, no. No emocional contigo. No emocional contigo. No emocional. No. That means not emotional with you. No emocional contigo. No emocional contigo. 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 I'm hot as shit. I ain't gonna lie. I know one thing. You can best believe that we gonna record that Pushing to Be Mushy song later on. I'm gonna trim that, make a little. Yeah, I'm gonna trim that joint. You know what I mean? That's gonna be another hit. Pushing to be mushy, pushing to be mushy, pushing to be mushy, pushing to be mushy, pushing to. Hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel. Y'all can call into the show if you want to call in and you want to talk about when somebody tried to push you to be mushy too soon about the things that you wasn't ready to be mushy about. I invite you to call in, and the number to call is area code 267-874-1949. That's the number to call. I said at 267-874-1949. Yes, 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 y'all. I said at 267-874-1949. Yeah, get on the line. I said at 267-874-1949. Yeah, get your shine, baby. Get your shine, baby. Get your shine, baby. Get your shine, baby. 267-874-1949, baby. Call 267-874-1949. And we'll get you right on up in here. This is a totally interactive show. There's no censorship on this show. You can say whatever you want to say. In the chat, YouTube runs everything. On the phone, we do what we want to do. And that's whether you push it to be mushy, push it to be... All right. Okay, now I'm going to ask y'all this. We're going to get a little personal. We're going to get a little personal, not a lot. When was the last time somebody pushed you to show emotions that you were uncomfortable with? You don't have to say who. You can give like a time frame. Like it happened a few weeks ago, or it happened last year, or the last time it happened, was 5 years ago, and it turned me off from. Like I've been celibate ever since then. I'm not. Ain't nobody. I. When was the last time somebody pushed you to show emotions that you were uncomfortable with? Dimbles D says 3 weeks ago. Damn. Okay. So that's fairly recently. Because when somebody pushes you to show emotions that you're not ready for, I don't think that they understand the impact of your unpreparedness. I don't think they understand why you aren't ready or willing to show your emotions. They may not understand or respect the fact that you don't trust yet, that you don't feel safe yet, that you're not comfortable yet. They may not understand that, especially if they feel like their intentions are good. And some people only concentrate on their intentions and they don't realize how scary that can be to somebody. They may not. A lot of people are just unaware of the impact that they have on people. Have y'all dealt with that? Have you ever dealt with somebody who was really you found out was a good person, but their approach was just so aggressive. It was so assertive. It was so intense that you were like, slow down. Emily Dunlap is in the house. Bow! She's about to turn it out. What's good? Yeah, have you ever dealt with somebody like that? You came to find out that they were a decent person, but they were pushing so hard that it would have scared anybody. You You know, when you are, shout out to white people that be trying to feed bears in the woods and shit. Hey, buddy. Hey, hey, don't be afraid. Here, hey, I got something nice for you. Fuck, that motherfucker don't understand English. And your demeanor, okay, you talking softly and all of that. Yeah, human beings understand that shit. Animal don't know what the fuck you talking about. You making too much noise. And for an animal, when you're making a lot of noise, when you're making a lot of sound, that doesn't register to an animal that you're trying to be nice, that you're trying to be helpful. It would be better to not say shit. So when you're dealing with wild animals, even if you're just talking about a stray cat or a stray dog, that's a wild animal. They haven't been domesticated. They don't understand. They don't understand the cadence in your voice. They don't understand the sound that you're making. They don't understand the tone of your voice. They don't know when you're angry or mad or sad, or they don't understand none of that shit. They don't have that out in the wild. They don't have that. So the best thing to do when you're dealing with a wild animal is, if you want to feed the animal, leave the food and get the fuck out of the way. He or she will remember that you put the food there, and they will remember that you are helpful next time. And if this goes on for a period of time, they know that you are a friend. You fed them, you didn't poison them, you didn't hurt them. They will remember that. But when human beings, we try to talk people into believing what we say or believing in us, and that may not be the way to do things all the time. Leave the food and get the fuck out of Dodge. Now, how do you leave food for a human being? Well, we know how to leave food, but I'm talking about how do we leave trust food, or how do we leave a trusting impression? Well, by not talking so much, by letting your words, whatever words that you use, letting your actions coincide with the words and allowing them to come to you. Even a hunter, even a good hunter, doesn't go around with his rifle looking for something to kill. They find a space far away from the animal and they wait so the animal gets comfortable. If they see the a human being in their sphere, in their area, they're going to tense up. It's going to scare them, and they're going to be compelled to run away. And even if you kill the animal, that meat is not going to be any good, because when animals get tense, their muscles tense up, they lock in, and that makes the meat, even though the animal is dead, it makes the meat tough. So when you kill the animal from hundreds of yards away, the animal never even hears the shot. But you kill it and it goes limp, and when you go to retrieve the animal, it's going to be good food. Hopefully you killed it for food. I guess if you kill it just so you can mount the head on a plaque on your wall, it doesn't matter, I guess. But yeah. So yeah. Take cues from people who deal with wild animals. James Fleming, what's good? How you feeling? Stacy White says, my cat was always able to tell when I was sad. Well, yeah, when they live with you, of course they will. They'll be able to figure out a lot of things. Okay, Stacy also says, when was the last time you was pushed to be mushy? Man, people try to get me to be mushy all the time. Most recently, let's see. Yesterday, I was pushed to be mushy yesterday, but I wasn't going for it. It might have happened the day before too. Listen, people think I'm hard as a rock. And I don't know where they got that shit from. I really don't. But I've been dealing with this shit almost all my life. And one of the bad things about when people think that you are either emotionless or that you can handle anything is that they will give you anything to handle. They will throw things at you just to see how you'll handle them. Or it will make it hard for them to trust you because they think that you can't relate to whatever they're going through. So they don't know if they can trust you with certain information. So it's not really a good position to be in if you're trying to establish trust with somebody. Let me see. Dimples D says, and what up, James? What up, James Florin? What's good, man? Thanks for coming through. Dimples D says, pay close attention to what others are saying. Ask clarifying questions and show genuine interest in their thoughts and ideas. Okay, that sounds good. James Florin says, good. I just caught you talking about wild game being tough. I'm a Native American. I go hunting in the fall time for white-tailed deer, and one I shot last year ended up being tough because the deer stressed. I've never gone hunting, but I know these things. I read, watch videos and shit like that. But I learned that a long time ago. Yeah, I mean, yeah. You go out there shooting all wild, and all the animals are running and shit, and you happen to catch one. Boom! I hope that meat is going to be garbage. Garbage. You have to cut that shit with, and then you ain't gonna be able to cut it with a regular steak knife. That's for sure. You said because the deer was stressed before it died. Yeah. And you know what? You know what's funny, James? I'm glad you co-signed that, because in slaughterhouses, each cow or pig or whatever is watching the one before it gets slaughtered, get their head cut off, and they know that they're next. That shit is the most cruel, torturous shit I ever seen in my life. If you ever go on YouTube and look up a slaughterhouse, it may stop you from eating meat ever again. Real shit. This shit is cruel. It's inhumane as fuck. Imagine and this is one of the reasons that people have so much sympathy for the Jews in the gas chambers during World War II or during the Nazi era. They knew that when the Nazis rounded people up, they knew that they were taking them in the gas chambers. So they would take, let's say, 100 people, all Jews, and put them in the area and turn on the gas and kill them all. Some of them they burned. And I'm not sure if they burned them before or after. But I remember when I was younger, I thought that the gas chamber meant that they put them in like a gas stove and lit it. That's what I was thinking. I mean, it was already on some cruel shit, so I figured that it was on some extra violent shit. But come to find out later on that the gas chambers were really just, they literally gassed them. And then incinerated them. But who's to say which one they did first? Because they didn't give a fuck. Jana Firdo, for your own good, learn Islam and accept it. Well, I do know a little something about Islam, and I have practiced it over the years. So yeah, I'll take your advice. Absolutely. And since and if you're talking about the way slaughterhouses are done, I understand you're talking about the halal way of killing animals. And it is more humane. Like they never see it coming. So the meat is a different texture a lot of times. And of course, we consider the meat to be blessed but it still had to die. It still had to die. Johnny West says, a daytime live chat. I just assumed you were a vampire. Now I can only assume you're a day walker as well. No, on the weekends, we do it at 1:30 p.m. So Saturday and Sunday, we do this show at 1:30 p.m. So, at night, on the weekdays, 2 a.m. It used to be 1 o'clock and 1 o'clock. It used to be 1 a.m. every weekday for a certain amount of time. The show changes every time my work schedule changes. That's what these changes are about. There was a time when this show used to come on 9 in the morning. And then it was 11 in the morning. And then it was 1 in the afternoon. And then it was 1:30 in the afternoon. Will it be 2 one day? 3 one day? I doubt it because I don't, I really want to get this show out of the way. I want to get it out of the way so I can have the rest of the day, so you can have the rest of your day to, sit back, relax, and chill, do whatever you want to do. But yeah, this is how it's going down. All right. James Florence says they're not all tough, but some of them do end up being tough. Okay. All right. That makes sense. And you would know. You're a hunter. I've never done any hunting. Not sure if I never really wanted to do that. That wouldn't be easy for me to do because I really like animals. I don't like rats. Most of the rodent family I don't really have a thing for. And I don't really like reptiles that much. Not snakes. I don't really like serpents. But like alligator or crocodile. Because you can see the emotion on their face. Like, they're not bad. They just got to eat. Crocodiles seem a little mean compared to alligators. I'm no bullshit. Crocodiles seem mean compared to alligators. Alligators just like, look, I gotta eat. Maybe it's because alligators are American. Maybe I look at it. Maybe because crocodiles, they be on that African shit. Maybe I don't know. Crocodiles be fucking shit up. And they so much bigger than alligators. No, you can have a little alligator. Crocodiles are big, man. Crocodiles are big. For real. All right. TK Wright says, those are the videos that they showed us in middle school. That's how I became a vegetarian. I'm telling you, man, it's disgusting. It is disgusting. Imagine you in line. You are in line. You just watched your fellow moo-moo or oink oink. You just watched him get his head cut off. They didn't pet him or nothing. They got us marched. They got us. My head is in the ass of this shit is this. Yo, man, it ain't cool. It ain't. It's not cool. No bueno. No bueno. And it's bloody as hell. When you see the life drain out of anything, if that doesn't change you emotionally, you might be psychotic. And that ain't a good thing. Because that probably means you'll take a life like it ain't shit. You are a serial killer material. TK Wright says only lasted 2 years, sloppy Joe, but I often go back. Ain't nothing wrong with cutting meat out of your diet on the here and there. And I think it's a good thing. She says, Johnny, we are here every Saturday and Sunday between 1 and 1:30 p.m. And she says, James, I felt so guilty about the sloppy Joe. Well, it was so good after basketball practice. Or manwich. You used to be eating a manwich. You eat manwiches. I mean, what else? What else? What you ate? What's the shit? Stove? No, wait, hold on. What's the shit? What they stir fried? No. What's that shit that they used to have? They was billing it as fried chicken that you baked. It was stovetop stuffing and something baked. What was it? What was it? Anyway. Yeah, Stacey White says, I remember when I used to come on at 7. Yeah, the show used to be at 6. Then it was 7. Every time my job changed or my schedule changed, here come the changes. Hold on. Oh, my bad. I thought somebody was at the door. They wasn't at the door. All right. Emily says, that's why I never go with the time you say and just wait on my notification. The time fluctuates. No, it hasn't fluctuated in a long time. We've been doing this 2 o'clock thing definitely all of 2025 and since September of 2024. So this has been a pretty good run. Pretty good run. Now, yeah, at this job, I've been here 3 years, which is the longest I've been at a job since 2017. I was jumping around a lot. You know, the money ain't right over here, I'm going over here. The money ain't right over here, it's better over here. Yeah. Okay. TK Wright says, in the bayou, you wouldn't like gators. I understand. I understand that. James Flores says crocodiles are meaner than alligators. They are. Crocs, yo, man, crocodile different. And they big. You should not be able to fit a whole zebra in your mouth. Ken, you should not be able to fit a whole zebra in your mouth. I mean, alligators like a caiman. You know, a jaguar does not fear no caiman. They will fuck a caiman up. And caiman is a form of an alligator. Why do they call them a caiman? Let me see. Shout out to South America. Let me see. Come on. What's the difference between an alligator and a caiman? Okay. Alligators are found in North America while caimans inhabit South America. And alligators generally have a broader, more rounder snout compared to caimans. Oh. Okay, geographical distribution. Alligators primarily found in the southeastern United States, specifically in freshwater habitats. Caimans native to Central and South America, inhabiting various freshwater environments. All right. Alligators can grow quite large. I'm averaging 11 to 13 feet and weighing up to 790 pounds. That's a big ass alligator. Caimans are generally smaller than alligators, with the black caiman being the largest species, reaching up to 15 feet in length. If they're generally smaller than alligators, why does the longest alligator go up to 13 feet, but the caiman goes up to 15 feet? Okay. Caimans are known for being more agile and crocodile-like in their movements than alligators. Caimans typically have rougher scales on their belly and back, with more scales on their head than alligators. Aggressiveness. While both are powerful predators, crocodiles are generally considered the most aggressive of the crocodilian family, followed by caimans, then alligators. See? Crocs rock. Crocs. You can see it on their face. Crocodiles mean, man. They be mean, man. Don't have your small pets around no crocodiles. They don't give a fuck. TK Wright says, I've seen gators up close. None for me, thanks. Gator tastes good though. It does. It tastes pretty good. Stacey White says, I think a lot of people that's mean is because they're hungry. TK Wright says, in Europe, in the country, the animals, they eat the animals fresh? Buttercup says, you all enjoy this lovely Sunday. I'm heading out with my plans for today. Be safe, y'all. You have a great, safe day. Much love, much love. James Flooring, good. Yeah, I like it. You got the good, colorful. Yeah, look at that. What's that, a buffalo? Where you got a buffalo emoji? What phone you got? Where they got a buffalo emoji? That is the epitome of cool. That is a buffalo, ain't it? Or is it an ox? Idiotic Genius says caimans have more horsepower. He said, oh, I thought you meant the Porsche. You talking about the Cayenne? I can't. He's too much. He's too much. I can't. Oh yeah, it's a buffalo. That's damn. That's cool as shit. Look at my emoji. I want a buffalo. I'm gonna find out if I can get a buffalo. See if I can get a buffalo. I'm looking for me. Damn, I can get one too. All right, my life has improved. Thanks to James Floyd, my life has improved exponentially. I'm about to send a buffalo emoji just because. I'm sending me a buffalo emoji. This shit is dope. So like, it's a buffalo. This is the epitome of cool. Listen, buffalo. You know what I'm saying? Let me send my daughter one. When she gets a buffalo, she gonna be like, Dad, What did you send me? You know what it is. You like animals? Man, so you a motherfucking buffalo. You think I ain't? You getting this? You gonna get this buffalo work? You gonna get this buffalo work for real, for real. Boy, mother, for real, for real. Yeah, buffalo, buffalo, a buffalo. Oh, 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 oh. Get the buffalo. Idiotic Gene says maybe the Caymans have alligator seats in them. Wouldn't that be ironic? Yeah. Ah, shit. Yeah, that's right, James. Good looking. That's right. Rock the buffalo. A buffalo. Damn Buffalo Bills and the white man for killing all them goddamn buffaloes just so the Native Americans didn't have nothing to eat. And you know you can ride a buffalo too? It was a rough ride. It was a very rough ride. But you could. You could. And the skins were good for, keeping you warm in the winter. A buffalo was a very, very useful animal. Very, very. Yes. Because okay, anyway. Pushing you to be mushy about the wrong things before you're ready. Too soon. The wrong time. Pushing you to be mushy. Why don't you just push me to ride a buffalo? If you introduce me to a cool buffalo, I'll probably get emotional. I love mammals. Mammals rule. But yeah. Even though, we've been joking around and playing music and all this stuff, this shit is like real shit. When somebody's pushing you to be mushy or too emotional before you're ready to be emotional, and you may not be an emotional person. And I want to talk to the people who are not antisocial or not devoid of emotions. It's okay to be reserved. It's okay to save your emotional energy for the times when you think it will be needed the most. Because there are reasons that we either express our emotions freely or we hold back a little bit. You may have been raised in a type of family where showing your emotions, your softer side of your emotions, because there are more emotions than just being sad or crying, and there are a lot of emotions. Hey, what's up? Oh yeah. So I'm on the show right now, right? And we was talking about buffaloes. No, wait. My man James Florence sent me an emoji with a buffalo, and I was so impressed. I was like, "Yo, what kind of phone do you have where you have a buffalo emoji?" And I had one on mine. So since you had just sent me a text, I was like, "Nah, you gonna get this buffalo work." Mm-hmm. So that's what the buffalo was about. So for right now, buffaloes, they are symbolic of freedom and American justice and leather coats and a football team that ain't shit. And a cold state? Oh, a cold state. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I consider Buffalo to be more like Canada. But look, I'm not finished the show. I'll call you back. All right. Yeah, that was my big sis. You know what I'm saying? She asked me why, what's up with the Buffalo? You know what I mean? Yeah. See, things is gonna be different now. Things are about to, James. I think you changed the whole. You've changed my life now. You changed my life. Shake and bake. That's what I was looking for. Shake and bake. I couldn't remember. Shake and bake. Yeah. Shake and bake. I couldn't remember that shit. Shake and bake. Y'all remember Shake and Bake? This shit was popular as hell in the 70s. Shake and bake. Yeah. Shake and bake. Shake and bake. Yes. Yeah. My mom used to buy that shit. I know. I'm like, this chicken is good, but what is this shit? Shake and bake. Throw that shit in the oven. And you got baked fried chicken. Baked fried chicken. Okay, hold on. TK Wright says, nerd alert, there's a Buffalo Bill historic site in almost every state heading west after you pass Chicago. Boo, Buffalo Bill. Boo, 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 boo. And she says, my exes used to complain about me being too reserved. Yeah, like when they start trying to pull it out of you too much, sometimes that can make you trust even less. Because now you wonder, like, what I mean? What's the big deal? What's the big deal? What are you doing? John Rambo says Buffalo Bill from the Silence of the Lambs. Buffalo Bill from the Silence of the Lambs. Speaking of Silence of the Lambs, how come, like all through the time he was campaigning, Donald Trump was talking about Hannibal Lecter from Silence of the Lambs, right? After he got elected, not a word about Hannibal Lecter and the Silence of the Lambs. There was a song by Showbiz and AG called Silence the Lambs. I used to like that song too. You should look it up. Go to YouTube, whatever your streaming service is. Look up Silence of the Lambs by Showbiz and AG. I think I'm gonna listen to that after we get off the show. Okay. Okay. Idiotic Genius says, Carrie Wright, I will not be putting the lotion on the skin today. Maybe next weekend I'll check my schedule. Y'all tripping. Show up at the front door with a Cayman, and I don't mean the car. Emily says, what did Shake and Bake? What, did Shake and Bake go out of business? Haven't heard about them in so long. I think it still exists. I'm pretty sure. They probably just don't have any more commercials. Let me see. Shake and Bake. No. Yep, they still got it. $5.59. You can have it delivered by DoorDash. $2.99 extra crispy at Walmart. Shake and Bake original pork seasoned coating. Shake and Bake variety bundle. Somebody asked, is Shake and Bake just breadcrumbs? They said the coating is really just seasoned breadcrumbs. It's just seasoned breadcrumbs, and there's nothing fancy about it in the slightest. The herbs are flexible. You can add all three or just use whichever you have in your pantry right now. Shake and Bake exposed. We just did an expose on Shake and Bake. The truth had to come out. Nobody will ever make me emotional over Shake and Bake again. What do you think about that, Emily? Okay. Silence of the Lambs is when Billy Bob walks into the sheep barn in Alabama. Medita McGuy, Fake and Bake. This shit ain't nothing but breadcrumbs, yo. This shit ain't nothing but breadcrumbs. What we doing? We all got food. We all got food. Manwich was just a sloppy Joe, and Shake and Bake with nothing but breadcrumbs. I'm gonna get some cornmeal, season it up, and call it shake and fry. Get some cornmeal, season this shit up, and call it shake and fry. I'm about to patent my shit. Don't bite. Don't bite. Emily says that's for the people who that can't cook. I know they sold a lot of Shake and Bake over the years. Idiotic genius says my Tourette's kicks in while I'm cooking. It's the real Shake and Bake. Yo, what the hell? TK Wright said you can pay $4.18 for Shake and Bake, or you can use panko or breadcrumbs for $1.25. Choices, apples and oranges. TK Wright says, watch your mouth about Sloppy Joe, buddy. I don't want no smoke today. I'm about to do these birthday shout outs because I don't want no smeeze, no smoke. Not I. I'm going to tell you what I don't want. I don't want no smoke. 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 Let's see. Hold on. Before we do the birthday shout outs, let's see what's up. Let's see the results of this poll. Out of 26 votes, with the all right, hold on.
You have a call from.
All right. Welcome to the Urban Therapy with Son show. Thank you for calling in. What's on your mind this afternoon?
I want to see you make it.
Oh, God. You know what? Normally I would let them live, not today. Especially since it's the end of this. I mean, we getting the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? You ain't stopping this train. That's what you're not going to do. You're not stopping this train. All right. The poll question was, how long does it take you to be comfortable with showing your emotions with someone you are with? 15% said right away, I'm always emotional. 27% said 3 months to a year. 38%, which is the lion's share, says I can show concern, but not emotion. And 19% said thinking about this makes me sick. It makes me feel physically ill. Showing your emotions ain't real. Shit makes me physically ill. Showing your emotions ain't real. Sit back, relax, and chill. Showing your emotions, that ain't real. Yo, what's up? Uncle Phil. Showing your emotions ain't real. Yeah. What? Emily said, hold up. Idiotic Genius said, I just had Taco Bell from the next thing. Taco Bell. The next thing I'm doing is called the running. Emily said, like hamburger helper. Heck, we were eating that bullshit someone marketed and made millions. Hamburger helper. But I thought hamburger helper was kind of good. But you had to do all the work. This shit wasn't number seasoning. It wasn't like them little seasoned wing dings you get in the bag now. You had to do all the work. Hamburger helper wasn't number seasoning. That was a equivalent to taking some Lipton onion soup mix, and you had to mix that in with the hamburgers. For the grill. Let's do these birthday shout outs. We had some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious March 30th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special because they are special because they are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They get number one out the box, Travis Burgess. Happy birthday to you, my brother. And also Katrina Marsh. And also Annabelle Paradise. And Cold Summer. It's a cold summer. And my girl from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Now living down there in Alabama. Trinae Queen. And Tawana Jamal Russell Curry. And also Deport. And Diane, I am God's child, Heard. And Noretta Jordan. Trina Herring, my girl Yaz G, aka Kiliana Demal. Last but not least, I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all. And I hope that today finds you all a good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that goes out to each and every person out there born on this glorious March 30th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out. Rock on and do the damn, to rock out. Rock on and do the damn rock out. Rock on and do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, man, pushing to be mushy, 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 pushing to be mushy. Why are you pushing me to be mushy? Yo, I'm close to the edge, so please don't push me. I understand that you need some emotions from me, but you are pushing. The only person do that is a dummy. Pushing to be mushy, 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 pushing to be mushy. I understand and I'm trying to comply, but you want me to be too emotional. I'm asking why. Yo, I will do it if I start to trust. But right now I'm going into my shell and it ain't us. Pushing to be mushy, pushing to be mushy, pushing to be mushy. You pushing to be mushy, pushing to be mushy, pushing to be pushing to be mushy, pushing to be pushing to be mushy, pushing to be mushy, pushing to be mushy, pushing to be mushy, pushing to be pushing to be mushy, pushing to be pushing to be mushy, pushing to be mushy, pushing to be mushy, pushing to be yeah, 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 yeah. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death, resuscitate y'all, and love y'all right back to life. We will be back tomorrow night. That's Monday going into Tuesday, 2 a.m., my friend. We will be here. We will be here. I'll be there. I'll be there. Just wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning, honey. Oh! Ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 ba. At 2 in the morning, I'll be there. I'll be there. Oh, ooh, ooh, ooh. I'll be there. I'll be there at 2 in the morning. I'll be there. Just turn to the channel, honey. All right. Hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. Yo, I want to thank y'all for coming through. I hope y'all enjoy listening to the show as much as I enjoy broadcasting. I'm going to holler back, though. Peace.